You, my friend, have been putting in that work. And now this message found you when it needed to find you, right? This is not a message for everybody. This is a specific message. Typically, I read for a collective, but I'm being guided to really just narrow in on a specific message of the dedication that you have been putting in towards your goals, towards your development, whether that be physically, emotionally, mentally, but also spiritually. I'm talking to my gifted readers, I'm talking to my gifted psychics, I'm talking to those with the gift of intuition, those with the gift of discernment, but also those who have been blessed with the gift from God to make an impact in this world, right? I had a dream last night, and I'm gonna tie this in, right? And I'm always protected in my dreams, by the way. If you have dreams, just know you're always protected. Make sure you're taking the necessary precautions to really protect your energy, but you are always going to be divinely protected. As long as you turn your faith to God, you will be divinely protected, right? So I had this dream, and there was kind of like a orbish type of eyeball, right? Just the eye, I guess, in a sense. And the aura was white, whitish blue. So it appeared to be very, I guess it was divine in a sense, right? Because if we talk about colors, we think white is more so pure, divine, and we see vitality with white. But when it turned and looked at me, right, and I looked at it, I looked at the pupil, I looked the eye in the eye, pretty much, the aura turned red and it seen me as a threat. I automatically felt as if I was being targeted. And that eyeball tried to approach me, but I was divinely protected. I felt like my angels was just there, like, no, you will not touch her, right? And I was inside a home, right? Foundation can be very important. I'm seeing four wands in my eye. And it could not get past the window. Now, there was another part in the stream where, like, I'm kind of just navigating through this foundation, right? So it's kind of like there's one room that I've seen one thing, which is the eyeball, and I'm navigating outside of that room, and then I see kind of look like a killer bee, right? Just resting, just sleeping in like a little circle in a little nest, right? Had a huge stinger though. It was sleeping, and for some reason it got woken up. I believe there was another energy there with me, right? There was another presence, and that bee was woken up, and then it started following me, and in a sense it was kind of trying to attack me, right? Maybe because it was woken up out of its sleep, maybe because I knew that that bee was like not even supposed to be there, but it was more so it kept following me throughout the home that I was in, and it really wanted to just get to me, right? Now, just let me piece this together. I did wake up, and I remember just thinking like, what was that dream about? And I really had to sit with that, and I had to like meditate and really just allow my day to just be what it is. And so I sat here and I asked for clarification, as well as any messages that needed to be put out there with this message, with this dream, because every dream has a message in it. It really warned, did y'all see that? It really warned against an evil eye monitoring a foundation, a home. I'd even say, like, with the bee also being there, because bees are messengers, right? They're divinely sent messengers. But this bee, it wasn't an ordinary bee, it was a different kind of messenger, right? So be mindful of certain messages, certain energies, certain things that are kind of like warnings. I'd even say like a red flag. Like be mindful of red flags or something that like alerts you, because it definitely was alerting for me. Like once it woke up, I was like, what is going on? How is this bee like just up like this ready to attack, right? So it's kind of like being mindful of certain energies around a foundation, around a home, something you're working on, right? Because now here's we're gonna get into the tarot, right? Just I'm gonna pull a little bit. But we have the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom, right? I want to take this as the theme card, the underlying theme. Yeah, Four Pentacles. It's kind of like you're in you're like holding back in your nest, protecting a foundation, building upon a foundation. I'm hearing intruders. There are intruders trying to get into your foundation. And this is a trigger warning, and guys, I don't think this is happening with everyone, but just make sure you are locking up your home properly when you are home alone at night. Just make sure you're doing your due diligence, right? Make sure the security system's on point. But Eight of Coins, Four of Coins, this is something that's materialistic but also physical, right? Physically, you have been putting in a lot of work when it comes to your endeavors, your projects. It has been a bit painful doing this work, but this is like necessary pain, growing pains I'm getting, right? Because like she got her foot in the pentacle, and it's kind of like, she's making sure she's holding it down so she can weave this other pentacle. It may be growing pains, and you may have been like really in your cocoon, but you're divinely protected by, this looks like an eagle spirit, a hawk spirit. Let's get a little bit more. What is this about? What do I need to tell everyone? What is, once again, this is like a very specific message. The Hierophant, the High Priestess, and the Magician. Guys, when I tell you, maybe you guys have been having very vivid dreams as well. Whoever sees this, 9:59 as I say this, and I also seen 9:49 when I was starting this. That's confirmation. 949, nines represent wisdom, right? The spiritual aspect, the spiritual realm. 4 is stability, foundation. 5 is change. There is a change in your foundation that you are working hard to protect. And the message here is to continue to protect that, continue to manifest and create, but continue to use your discernment with how you are doing it, the contracts, who you allow into that kingdom. I believe, oh my goodness, okay. I was just about to say, God is making this apparent. God is removing what needs to be removed, but also the Most High is like, well, the judgment is here. Judgment is casted. I don't know against who, against what, but you're being called to be mindful of your judgment when it comes to your 10 of Cups, your happiness, but also what burdens that you carry that are not yours, right? Because there's this Ace of Wands here. Why? Tell me a bit more about this. Some of you have been working on your spiritual gifts as well. Like you've been really putting into practice how to really control dreams, use your discernment. If you're like me and you love tarot and divination tools like that, the Fool. Yeah, you're taking a leap of faith somewhere. There's a new, or you're being called to just have that beginning, or more so you are having that beginning. And with this 5 of Swords, this is kind of like a bit of past energy trying to resurface. Yeah, past energy, but also energy that wants to make you feel guilty and a bit sour about you going into a new direction. Tell me more about the 5 of Swords. Guys, we might have to do a part 2, but I'm going to get just Queen of Wands, because you're glowing, because of your confidence, but because you can do what it is you say you can do.